Hey there, I'm a DIY track guy and this is my humble garage. Today is Miata roll bar install day. But full and fair disclosure, I am hopelessly overconfident and dangerously underqualified, so everything from this point on is mostly useless. So what are we working with here? This is an NA or NB Miata roll bar. This one's made by my friend Matt at MT Motorsport or ecotechmiata.ca. Go check out his website for a cool engine swap option for your Miata. He fabricates these bars in batches every once in a while. This particular one came from a batch maybe a year or two ago, and it's actually a customer return. It mounts to the chassis by 4 points, 2 at the back and 2 at the front, behind the seats along the rear bulkhead. For the rear mount point, it comes with 2 backing plates. It mounts with 2 bolts, as well as 2 nuts and washers. Now, he didn't supply any backing plates for the front mount points. Since it's a customer return, perhaps they're lost, but that's not a problem. I'll fabricate something myself. For the front mount points, it comes with 2 bolts, one for the seatbelt tower and one for the seatbelt retractor. I also weighed the bar. It comes in at 36.6 pounds, including the backing plates and hardware that you see. Now, I do have to add in those 2 additional brackets that I'll fab up, but it should come in around that. All right, let's do some damage. There's nothing under here worth mentioning. Half a button. That's disappointing. These go missing really easy. That's amazing. After 31 years, this tape is still sticky. I marked here where the roll bar touches this. Now, we need to be able to get the roll bar back about 1 3/4 inches. We need to cut here and along here. Duplicolor Honda touch-up paint. Next step is to paint this roll bar. So now that I'm looking at it, there are some spots where there's welding spatter. I will try using this metal bit here. As always, you gotta watch your eye holes. Reminds me of going to the dentist. Ooh. So I boiled some water, put this guy in here, and I'll just leave it here to warm up the actual paint. Hopefully that'll help it spray a little easier and come out a little bit nicer. I've gone ahead and straightened out this and this. So now I have an assortment of these guys to try to fill the gap between this top bracket and the bottom here. So it looks like this long one and this thick washer should do the job. Well, this is interesting. This thing was inside this bag. What is this? Like a hair pick? So we got the bolt started over there. So that side is all lined up. This side we need to line up. So there's the same seat belt retractor bolt down here, and then the seat belt tower bolt here. If you look straight down, you can see that this hole and this bolt hole down on the bottom here is way off. It's probably about ½ an inch too far this way. So somehow we got to get the bar this way. This is a ratcheting cargo bar for a pickup truck. If I just keep ratcheting this, it's gonna spread this bar a little bit more so I can line up the holes. This isn't working. Quick test fit on the car. It's actually not too bad. Give these a quick lick of paint. All right, next up is trimming these plastics. For all you guys who have cut this plastic before, there's some funky gas that comes out of here. It reminds me of Tide laundry detergent. Ah! I got a piece of molten plastic in my eye. All right, next thing to do, trim this piece of metal. This thing is as sharp as a razor blade. That's it. Got the rear carpet in. This rubberized edging that I'm going to put along here works really well in a straight line, does not go around corners. So there you have it. Ta-da! So even though I'm not a DIY detailing guy, I found this intensely satisfying. Check out the state of these wheel wells now. All right, let's wrap this install up. Best and worst. The best thing for me was the creative solutions that I had to use to get the bar to fit properly. One of those things was to use that pickup truck bed cargo bar thing, that ratcheting thing, to spread the bar out. Without that, I think it would have been a lot harder to get it to move out that, half an inch or so to line up the bolts. Another best for me was making those backing plates for the front mounts. I didn't know what I was going to do before I started, but using those really long pipe clamps and the C-clamps with the long bar to bend them into the right angle, I feel like that was a pretty good accomplishment. I feel good about that, and I know it seems simple, it's just bending some metal, but it's pretty thick, it was pretty hard, and coming up with a solution to that made me feel pretty good. The worst thing for me was cutting those plastic interior pieces. Getting that right, and I wanted to get it right as close to the bar as possible and not cut off more material than necessary. That was a pain. It was cut a little bit here, try to fit it in the car, cut it again, fit it, cut it, fit it. It was it just took forever. There was nothing glamorous, there was nothing exciting about it, and the gas that came off of that thing was really quite noxious. But I did get quite high, so I guess that was good. So it took a long time. I only get a few hours on evenings and weekends to work on the car. I think I could have saved a lot of time in some of those little things, those extra things that I did, like cleaning out the wheel wells or cutting the parcel shelf so that it would fit with minimal clearance. Those kind of things, if I just didn't bother or I didn't care, probably could have saved a bit of time. So another top tip was to do things slowly. I liked it that I only had a certain amount of time each evening or on the weekends to think about a certain thing, take small bites, and to try in those small bites to do the best that I could. So what do you think? Are there things that I did wrong, things that you would have done differently? Let me know in the comments below. That's enough for me. Take care of yourselves and the ones you love, and thank you so much for watching. Feel the burn.